Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Gumbo Live. It's episode number 140, Gumbo Live, the number one Facebook Live talk show in Ankeny, Iowa, dedicated to board gaming. Our special guest tonight, it's Rob, it's Cam, it's TK from the Board Boys podcast. You can find them at theboardboys.com. Couple of quick show notes. We're going to be talking about spicy hot games tonight. Lots of spicy hot games because they play lots and lots of games. We'll also be talking about some con chat, maybe a little bit of background information, and we're going to play Alex Goldsmith's favorite all-time game with them and the chat crew tonight. So stick around for that. A couple of quick show notes. Hit us up on social media, on Twitter or on Facebook at Board Game Gumbo, because we're going to be looking for your questions in the chat crew. The Gumbo Overlord and the Name Father will specifically try to call out some things to talk about. So if you got something to say, let us know. But enough blather. Let's get right to our special guest. We've got a bunch of them, so this is going to take me a second. But there he is. Rob, what's up?
Yo!
Rob, all the way from Dungeons Gate. That is one of the greatest FLGSs I've ever seen behind you. I mean, you have a game store in your house. That's amazing.
Right? Yeah.
No, you were supposed to be at Dungeons Gate, right?
Yeah, tonight's our game night, but we cut it short just for you.
Oh, I am so happy you guys
did
that.
Special place in our heart, BJ.
I'm an honorary member. That's what I like to say. Or at least how about this? I'm a promoter. I'm a promoter of the Board Boys. Look, all night I've even got the special pin. Look at this.
Nice.
Got it right.
We'll have to get shirts. More shirts out there.
All right. So this was a tough one, but we're all the way from Peru. I think it's Peru. We've got Cam.
Hello, it's Cam, top board boy. That's a better than bestest.
No.
Bestest boy.
You're messing up the hierarchy.
And the top board boy. Okay, you're not actually in Peru tonight.
No, I'm in Des Moines, and I'm just to show that I can have games too. We'll just get.
Okay, now I'm jealous because I can't find a copy of First Rat anywhere around here.
Hey, funny story. I think there's 3 copies of First Rat in this talk show tonight.
Yeah, you can have mine. I think Robin and Tim both on it. I purchased this because it was on the Ding and Dent, and there's an inconsistency right there. But
that never bothers me. So yeah, hey, hold it for me. Maybe we can make a trade.
All right.
I've got some Simone Luciani game you want, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, Darwin's Journey. Send that to me.
All right. So we've got the number 1 and number 2 Simone Luciani fans in the world. But let's bring in the third board boy, who I actually had never met before. It's board boy TK.
Yo, what's up?
All right. So
this side.
Cam, I pictured that, because how you ever had this happen where you have a radio voice, but you've never met the person. So you kind of have a middle picture.
Yeah. Was it accurate for Tim? 6'7",
glasses, and a basketball star in high school.
Well, he is 6'7", right, Tim? Is that
pretty close? It's pretty close. 6'3", 6'3". Not a basketball star though, unfortunately.
All right, so I've got everybody in, and we got 1 million people already checking in on the chat. It is Patrick Newman, our favorite South Texas buddy. Patrick Newman, what's up, Patrick? Patrick, you got any questions for the Board Boys? Let us know. Actually, I think you guys met Patrick and Cindy Newman at BGG-Con. We played that insane game with
the hidden roll game?
That hidden rolls game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With the Gumbo Overlord.
Yeah, we did.
It was very fun.
Tim, did you have that behind you, or did you just grab that?
I went and grabbed it. Yeah.
He's got First Rat.
Yeah.
Do you have it back there somewhere?
Yeah, I have to find it.
Okay. So for the 2 or 3 people somewhere on the other side of the world that have not heard of the Board Boys podcast, I don't even know who that would be. But just in case,
out of the rock from your hiding.
Tell the chat crew. Somebody tell the chat crew, what is the Board Boys?
I mean, Cam, you're the longest board boy. Why don't you do it?
Yeah, I think it's called the top board boy. Board Boys podcast is it's a deep dive into one game every 2 weeks. We started by doing the BGG Top 100, but that constantly changes, and we've been doing it for like 5.5 years now. So we still occasionally do a game that cracks the top 100, but oftentimes we do stuff that's getting really hot reviews or is highly anticipated. We go in, we give an overview of the game, we talk about the pros and cons, we give our final thoughts on it, and we give it a rating from 0 to 3 boings, which is based off of a incredible video that listeners should check out by DJ Steve Walsh. Ain't no stopping us now. Just get about 3 minutes in and listen to the rap, and you'll totally get it.
Rob, the elephant in the room. Should we play the Steve Walsh video?
Like right now?
Like right now?
I mean, it's worth it.
It probably is worth it.
At least that part. Steve Walsh, I don't know why, it just stuck. Cam played it for us during one of the podcasts, and then like he just kind of became our spirit animal / mascot.
Yeah, / the summertime Santa Claus.
The summertime. Yeah.
Party for the World, is that the
Yeah.
song?
So Ain't No Stopping Us Now is the Steve Walsh, where it has the Steve Walsh rap, 3 boings, boing, boing, boing. But yeah, we
Oh
talk
my
shop.
God, I got it. So
Yes.
tell us about the boings though. How did the boings actually get started? And because I didn't go all the way back to episode 1. Is there an episode 0 or 1 where the boings were first introduced?
No, we didn't start doing the boings until about a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
a
was
little
my idea.
Yeah, it was Rob's idea, because I think what happened is I played everybody this video and I wouldn't shut up about Steve Walsh for like a month, 2 months. And so finally, I keep describing everything. Like I just keep describing the boing, boing, boing moment as like the pinnacle of music.
Do y'all hear that at all?
Oh yeah.
I totally hear it.
And who are we looking at right here? This is Steve.
So this is DJ Steve.
Are we going to see his daughters in here at all, you think?
No. Well, I don't know, because, I mean, I don't know. I am in a group chat that both of Steve Walsh's daughters are in, like the DJ Steve Walsh fan club on Facebook, but I've never asked them if they were in any of the videos. They would have been like 5 or 6 at the time. So
You know what's sad, Cam? I actually had a lot of his clothes in my closet in like 1987. I'm pretty sure. I had a lot of his clothes. Yeah.
How come you're not in this video, BJ?
That should be. I actually had a pair of parachute pants. I haven't seen them yet. But
So if you want to give these guys the boing 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 experience, I'd say go to about like right where you have the.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh no, sorry, you got to go back. He's like, yeah, there you go.
Don't stop the rockin', there's no holding back, there just ain't no stopping. So I'm busting beats because I'm feeling hot, and everybody around the world's gonna say, you what?
you what? You what? You what? You what? You what?
Say boing, boing, boing.
We got it.
Boing, boing, boing. There you go. That's the whole thing.
And that laugh is just priceless.
All right. So my favorite thing was when we were visiting with Stephen Bonacore, and we were doing the show, and we were trying to. I don't think he ever understood exactly what the boing 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 was supposed to be.
No, probably not.
But it's caught on, right? So how does the scale work?
Rob, I have my own thoughts about it. You should tell him how it works, because I'll leave the parts I don't like out.
So it is a 6-point rating scale because, I mean, whatever. We flub it around a little bit, but essentially 6. Well, I guess it's 7 because you could do 0 boings, but you can do, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 2.5, 1.5. I mean, we don't really review games that we really hate, so I don't think we've had anything maybe lower than a 1.5 from anybody that I can think of. Tim's the keeper of the boing chart, so he could probably tell you. We keep records of like overall ratings for our stuff. And
TK, what's the lowest rated? What's the lowest boings anybody's given?
Windward, and it was everybody gave it a 1.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and I think that one was like you could get it like Target maybe, right? Is that?
it wasn't good.
Yeah, not good. It was by far the lowest rated one.
I've seen it around a couple of different places.
Yeah.
So that's a 1 boinger.
Yeah.
What's the highest boing? Do you know? Any idea? And how many times can I do 4.5 boings without it getting annoying?
That's 0.
Hey, you get those, 4.5s.
You get 1.
4.
You can boing 1 4 times, or you can boing 4 boing 1 time. So far, the only person to do so is Jake Krause.
And
Josh Ladd.
Oh, Josh, before he
And?
out. That's right.
And
Oh yeah, Bo has given many 4 boings.
Oh, that's
Bo,
true.
Bo has given 4 boings. He's
Yeah.
so young and he's already used up his boings, Tim. I mean, like they're already gone.
I mean, he's just borrowing them from different people he finds.
He's the
so.
candle that boings the brightest.
So other than those 4s, what's the game that consistently has the highest boings? Any idea?
So yeah, Great Western Trail 2nd edition got really high
that'll
points.
make the Gumbo Overlord very happy.
Yeah, Yeah, so
Great
there's
Western
that
Trail.
one. And recently, I think Beast did pretty well, and Woodcraft crushed. So
You know,
Those
Beast
are all
is
very good.
Rob. I got to tell you, Beast is not my kind of game, but you actually sold it for me. That's a game I'd want to try. You made me think it was kind of Fury of Dracula-ish.
It is. It's
Yeah.
very cool. It's more instead of more hidden movement, it's kind of more hide and seek hunting kind of. It just feels more back and forth, and it feels like everyone gets to do cool stuff. So I'll bring that with me. I'll put that on the list.
All right. We've got another one for BGG Con. Hey, let's get Verla and Steven here and let's start talking about some games. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. We should have had First Rat on the list, obviously, because you guys are completely prepared to talk about it.
I do think First Rat hit up. I think everybody hit it with a 3 boing. So
Yeah, we love
it's
First
pretty
Rat.
high up there.
Yeah.
I had I at one point in time I discovered I could fit an extra game in all my shelves if I faced one out, but then I realized I can't remember what the hell is behind all of them.
Right.
So I have labeled everything with cube numbers, and I just use an Excel spreadsheet. That's the fastest way to find the game I want to do.
My son was bored before he started school, when he went to law school, and he actually went and did all of that for every shelf in here. I've never actually opened that spreadsheet up though, so it's probably all messed up now. So
No, I've kept it pretty up to date. Every once in a while, I get behind on it, and I do it, and I've labeled the cube with all the game names on them too. But I thought that would be easy enough to look through. That's hard to look through all the words. Ultimately, searching an Excel sheet is 10 times faster.
well, some of you guys have met Verla already, the Gumbo Overlord.
Yep.
Hello again,
We
friends.
met last
Hey,
year.
Verla.
We lost Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's Patrick. It's not
Keep
that we're
on.
rationing boings. We're just making sure that the boings are properly assigned to the right games, right?
It's true.
There needs to be a Boeing Federal Reserve of some sort that regulates this to make sure that interest is controlled.
Steve, you got to watch parts of the video. In fact, I think you watched the whole video while we were talking, right? Your thoughts on Steve Walsh and the boing.
Family show. So unless we're going to go Gumbo after dark, I think I'll take a pass on that one.
Listen, everybody, very soon there will be a party for the world, right?
Yeah. He said it like 35 years ago, so I don't know if he was. We haven't seen that yet, but maybe he was speaking in he was being figurative. Maybe next year.
Sure. It's going to take the world that long to catch up with the brilliance.
Exactly.
BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, the Board Boys from the Board Boys podcast. We got Rob and Cam and TK in, and they have played a game. In fact, I think they played it tonight, a game I am really jealous about. It's Darwin's Journey. Who wants to talk about it? I want to hear all about it.
So Darwin's Journey is from Thundergriff Games. Simone Luciani and Nestor Mangione are the designers, and the artist is Paolo Voto. And if you ever listen to our podcast, we love what we call the Italian design house mafia, which is anybody in the Luciani, Mangione, Tassini. Who else we got, Campbell?
Okay, so Luciani's kind of the guy who works with everybody. He's kind of the Kevin Bacon or whatever.
Luciani's the best of them.
I agree.
I have an argument for that.
To me, I'm with you. I think he's the juice. I think he's the juice in every game. But Luciani works with Tassini a lot. Luciani also works with Nestor Mangione. He did Barrage with what's his name, Tommaso Battista.
Right.
That kind of looks like Campbell.
Yeah, does kind of look like me. Like kind of look at the Barrage picture. But he also works a lot with Virginio Gili and Flamina Brasini. I think
Yeah.
Flamina Brasini. Yeah,
Mhm.
yep. Who those two make all their games together and.
But the
Which,
glue,
oddly enough, they did this game.
but the
Yeah.
glue, if you go through all the games that I really like from those Italian designers, Simone Luciani seems to be in on all of those games.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like
the guy.
one common thread.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I pulled the trigger on this one. This was a Kickstarter that happened during COVID and took a very long time to come out. Lots of production issues, whatever. But it finally came out a couple weeks ago to my house, and we played it. I played it twice now. Once with Tim, 2-player, and once tonight, 4-player. And they were very different experiences. It was one of those games where we started playing it, and we saw, you could score over 200 points, and at the end of the third out of 5 rounds, we're like, how the hell do you do that? and Tim did it tonight. So
Wow.
as like any of their games, it's like you just got to crack the nut a little bit, and then it just opens up for you.
What are we looking at here? Is it worker placement? What kind of game is it?
So yeah, the main mechanism is worker placement, and you have 4 different workers, and every worker, if you saw back on that other picture, there was some seals. You can kind of see them there. So this is the Kickstarter edition with the cool little, they're rubber, like they're little rubber seals, like they're the stamps for the letters. And you put those on a board next to the workers. And so you see right there that yellow meeple, to place him there, he needs to have 1 red seal to place him there. And then down below, you'll see some spots that cost $4 and $5. You get these little spyglass tokens that you can cover those up and create worker placement spots for people to go on. And if people go on your spot, you make money. And they're better spots, but they require like a worker to have 2 red seals or 3 red seals. And there's 4 different colors of seals. And then there's a purple one that's wild. And then like when your worker gets more seals, like they can have up to 6 of them. They just get completely juiced up and get to do some extra stuff. They just make the actions better. There you see like there's stamps that you put on there, and that's kind of an area control thing at the end of the round. You can score some benefits. Ultimately in the game, you're just trying to, I don't know if you have a picture of the map where you're walking around, but you kind of sail your ship around. Yeah, there you go. You sail your ship around, trying to keep up. You try to keep up with the HMS Beagle, which was Darwin's ship when he was doing his stuff. And you try to keep up with him because if you're behind him, you score less in end round of objectives. And then you kind of walk your explorer around, learning about the different species and animals. And then when you learn about them, you can then journal about them and write about them. And then at the end of the game, there's a huge multiplier by how much stuff people have learned altogether times how far you've moved this little book token. You can kind of see that in the middle of the board there, where there's like that 4x4 grid. You see the 4x4 grid of animals off to the right.
Yes.
You basically, as you discover them, they're also the circle tokens on the walking track down there. And as an action, when you stop on one of those circles, you can cover up the spot on your board, and then you can go onto the main board as an action, and then move that token that's over on the right side of the board onto its spot on the board and make some money and make some.
Are these like 3 islands that you're exploring as you go down this track?
Yeah. So if you see the banners that kind of cross the river there, or cross the water spots, when your boat crosses it, you get to pop an explorer out onto the next set of the islands.
Oh, okay.
So there's 3 different islands you can kind of walk around. And then on the back side of this board, it's all completely different. And there's an expansion built in called the Firelands, where you just go around like Tierra del Fuego. And the map part looks way crazier. And I know nothing about it at this point, but I'm super excited to dip into it. It's one of those games that have half the rule book is the rules, because the book is huge. And the rest of it is solo rules and probably a half a dozen modules, like small modules, and a fairly large expansion. When you hand out player pieces in the base game, you don't even hand out all the stuff. Like there's extra ships you don't use and extra explorers you don't use. And there's like a pirate ship that you can attack pirates. It's all crazy, man.
Checking in, playing Mario Kart in honor of his boy Cam.
Yeah, Dave, let's Mario Kart online soon, buddy. I've been time trialing. I'm ready to take you on.
We've learned that Duga doesn't play board games. He plays Mario Kart and Marvel Snap, and that's it.
Yeah, he's my Marvel Snap buddy in the Discord.
Steve, is this game too beige or not enough beige?
No. There's no such thing as too beige.
Okay, good, because that was a trick question.
Have you gotten the right saturation of beige?
Is it more colorful or less colorful than Toledo?
I haven't played Toledo, but Hurla would have to talk on that one. But that one looks to me like a slightly more pumped up version of what might be the Navigador board in terms of its colors. It's a little bit sharper, but still has that beige that's the rage.
I am attracted to this art the graphic design of all the artwork and everything. It looks really cool to me. Perla?
The biggest thing to overcome is the iconography. There's a lot of it.
Is it pretty intuitive?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, there's basically 4 main actions, and then after that, it's just juicing those up bigger and bigger and bigger and getting your workers jacked out, you know.
How's the playtime been, TK?
2 players, it was very fast. 4 players, it was about a little over 2 hours, probably something like that. So
I think the box says 30 minutes per player, and I'd say if you know the game, that's probably accurate.
It seems like all of their games say that 30 minutes per player. But
I think they're all generally right.
yeah, I bet if I pulled out
Teletum is not that long though. I don't think it's 30. I don't think they say 30 minutes per player on that one.
it's
Depends on who you're
60
playing with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It says
We
60
had
to
a
100
3-hour
minutes.
game with 3 people last night.
Of Toledo?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How did it go? Was it an enjoyable 3 hours?
Yeah. It's
An enjoyable 2 hours and then a third hour, Brad.
It's
Hey, Harry?
experiences like that where I don't feel guilty for looking at my phone in between turns because I know somebody's going to take, like 7 minutes to figure out their turn. And that's just who they are. And they're a family member and I love them. So I'm just happy they're playing with me.
Hey, that's a good way to be. I just trick my friends into taking faster turns by goading them. Like tonight.
Rob tricked me tonight. We were trucking. I was the fastest Cam in the West tonight because he's like, Cam can't
Nice.
play this game fast. He's going to think about every single turn for a long time. So I was zipping. So we were playing faster, I think, at a faster pace than normal.
If you ever want to try to beat Cam at a game, just goad him into playing really fast.
I lost by so many points, and it was probably my worst showing in a board game this year. So,
What's your favorite thing about the game, Cam?
Okay, so I think that there's a lot of things that kind of remind me of stuff that Luciani does, specifically in let's say Lorenzo Il Magnifico and Newton. It's got a lot of flavors from that. There's this huge combo wombo vibe going on in the game where a lot of the stuff you could do leads right into another really something that feels really powerful and meaningful. And despite that, the turns don't go on endlessly. Nothing takes too long, but you can take an action and you can upgrade one of your guys, and that feels great. But because you have a guy upgraded, you can close a objective that you might have. Then you get to slot that into the board, which will maybe give you another powerful thing you get to do. And there's a lot of that in Newton. There's a lot of that in Lorenzo, Grand Austria Hotel. So if you like those games.
This one feels a lot like Newton. I mean, Mangione did Newton too. So
exactly.
That's it has the wombo combo, as we like to say.
I would say it's the most like Newton out of any of the other games that Luciano.
And I'm seeing the little movement on the tracks, the little that kind of reminds me of Newton a little bit also. Although I was wondering if it was the King's track type thing on Toledo where they have some negative aspects, but I don't see that.
Yeah, no negative here. And then there's a player. You're seeing a player board there. And then those cards you draft at the beginning of the game, and they give you your starting seals, and those are also objectives you try to complete. So you want to have a guy with so many of each colored seal, and then you can flip them over and do the thing.
Well, we had a lot of requests before the show about what's going on with Darwin's Journey. Thumbs up for everybody? What do you think? Or need some more plays?
2 thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Thumbs up?
It'll be an episode soon.
Wow, it's in the top 100 already.
We're beyond that now. We've ascended.
Steve,
Or
What?
transcended the top 100, I guess.
Steve Berla, is this something y'all want to check out?
I would be interested in this. Yeah. I love the theme, and I hope that I don't need a theme. We were talking about this offline. I don't need a theme to make me feel like I'm actually Darwin traveling through the Galapagos. But if the theme does echo the mechanics in some way and makes it feel more fulfilling, that's cool by me.
Nice. I've just been seeing it pop up because everybody's getting their Kickstarter, and I didn't even notice it when it was on Kickstarter. And I've been seeing the pictures and thinking it looks very beige, and I haven't even looked into it. But now you guys are telling me Luciani's one of the designers, and Grand Austria Hotel is my tied for #1 game. So I've got to try this.
Chef's kiss there.
Yep. That's a good one.
Got to try this one now. And it looks a little more colorful than Tealetum.
You guys have sold me. I definitely want to try it. Darwin's Journey. That's
Add
awesome.
to the list.
All right, BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Cam and Rob and TK from the Board Boys podcast, and we are talking spicy odd games. And one of the ones I wanted to talk about was French Quarter, the brand new loaded roll and write. I'll say brand new, coming soon to Kickstarter. Brand new
So
loaded roll and
pretty.
write from Motor City Gameworks and 25th Century Games. They use that term loaded roll and write, and this is, that's what it is. These are crunchy roll and writes. Has anybody played Fleet the Dice Game or Three Sisters or Motor City or any of their other loaded roll and writes? Everybody's played.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So
Played Three Sisters last night.
if you know anything about those games, you know that they are roll and writes, of course, but they play almost like a big game experience, but only take about 45 minutes to an hour to play. So somehow it fits all three of those things and squashes them all together. They're very combo-licious. I call them bubble wrap games because it feels like you're wrapped up in bubble wrap and you're rolling around on the ground and they're just popping bubbles like crazy. Because once you do one thing, it just keeps popping. You're like, okay, I got this thing and I'm going to pop that and it's going to go over here and I'm going to pop that, and your turns can take a while. But that's the fun of these games. French Quarter is the latest one. It's set in, any guesses?
The French Quarter?
The French Quarter in New Orleans. So
It seems very on brand for you.
it does. I saw Chad from 25th Century said it would be criminal not to send you a copy. So I thought that was pretty cool. So
Oh, just wait until you find out exactly how on brand it is.
oh yeah, exactly.
I saw the picture, so I'm not going to spoil
There
it.
you go.
Oh, okay. So French Quarter, imagine a bunch of your friends are heading down to New Orleans for a vacation. It's the last day you've been not vacation, like a conference. You've been at the conference the whole time. It's the last night. It's Saturday night, and you just want to blow it out. You have 8 hours to have the best time you can have in the French Quarter. Now, what does that mean? It's going to mean different things to different people. You might be a museum goer. Maybe you want to see the Cabildo or different things. Maybe you want to go try out some of the great food they have there, or watch a second line parade, a little wedding party coming down, or there are other things you can do on Bourbon Street, a little Abita root beer. So that's what this game is about. 8 hours, basically 8 turns. And every one of their load and roll rights seem to have like a little hook to it, right? So the rondel action in Three Sisters, that's kind of the hook. In Motor City, it's those spatial puzzles of going down the track and trying to get the different bonuses. I haven't played Fleet the Dice Game since before COVID, so I don't really remember what the hook is. I think it was the boats. Anybody remember what the kind of the meat of it was?
Boats and fishing.
Yeah,
Getting fish in your boats.
I don't remember what the mechanic was that was the hook. In this one, they've taken the spatial puzzle that you have in Motor City, but they've changed up the way you get to those things. And what do I mean by that? If you can see on the screen, for a more than 2-player game, with a 2-player game, you take taxis out. You have these different ways of getting around the French Quarter. We're going to roll all the dice that are assigned to those colors. Technically, the carriage would have one, but I think we had already taken it. And then you choose one of those. On your turn, you're going to choose one of those. And each round, each of the 8 hours, everybody's going to draft 2. So when you draft those things, they do cool stuff. And it just goes basically top to the bottom. They're going to give you those bonuses. For instance, if you see the streetcar picture, it's got a little umbrella and a food, a little shrimp or a crawfish. You're going to get those bonuses on your sheet, just like most of their games. Then you're going to travel, and each of the different cards give you a different way of traveling around the French Quarter. The carriage ride is going to move you 1 to 3 spaces. A taxi cab is going to move you even farther. The streetcar only allows you to move up and down certain streets. The riverboat only allows you to move up and down the Mississippi River. So each one has a different way of doing that. And then, of course, you're going to get the dice. And the dice is going to come into play in the little city itself, inside the little French Quarter. And that's where, Matt and Ben and Adam love these little mathy games, And that's where this part is. You're going to be mapping your visit so that way at the end of the night, you can compare your trip with everybody else. Well, on the map, you're going to put that number in, but it's a puzzle because you have to put the number within plus or minus 1 of all the adjacent buildings. So that's where the math, they love those those mathy games, and that's where this one comes in. By the way, that wine stopper with the fleur-de-lis does not come with the game.
Oh,
I was
Sorry.
wondering.
I'm
Sorry,
out.
it doesn't go with the game. So you can see everything else is going to be familiar to you. The ones on the bottom right are the performers that you're going to meet on your travels. Obviously, you want to pop as many of those bubbles as you can to try to get them all. The ones up on the upper right, the umbrellas, that almost all their games have that. When you pop the umbrellas, every third one is going to give you a free wild. So it's kind of that nugget that we see in failed games, right, Cam? This is the nugget. Yeah, this is the nugget. The umbrella is kind of the nugget. This is the way to let you manipulate the board if you can't get something going. Everything else is based on, if you've ever been to the French Quarter, you know that it's got this kind of Spanish-French architecture, and that's what all these windows are on the top right. Those are just tracks. You're going to be focusing on Bourbon Street. Great. As you go down Bourbon Street, you're going to be getting bonuses. They're either one-time bonuses or all-the-time bonuses or in-game scoring. And the only way to score points on those is to actually reach those multipliers that you see on the upper right-hand side where the fleur-de-lis are. So as you can see, I've played this 4 or 5 times, and everybody has a different way of winning. You might focus on performers, or you might focus on the upgrades, or you might focus on the mapping. But of course, Matt and Ben can't just rest there. It's a loaded roll and write, like a big baked potato. It's got the second line. If anybody takes the socialized dice at the end of the turn, the second line is going to move around the city, and it's going to score points for all the buildings you've mapped. So just another way to think of this really cool spatial puzzle. These are prototype components. So how would you score an Uber to get some beignets? That's right. I think Café du Monde is actually in the game, but Patrick, you're going to love this. They were cool enough to include Cajun Jewelers and BJ's Gumbo right in
Love
there.
it.
I thought that was pretty
Love
cool.
it.
So I told my wife that I'm retiring from board gaming after this podcast tonight. There's nothing left to do. Steve, it's in a board game, right?
Empty threat, BJ. Empty threat. We all know it.
Probably so. And there's the little streetcar. Remember, TK, this is not a trolley. This is a streetcar. We're in New Orleans. Okay.
New Orleans, all right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Any thoughts about French Quarter or any of the loaded rolling rights that we see? Have you any experience with those games?
We just played Three Sisters, Cam and I, with Jake not too long ago. It was really good. That one looks sweet. Being able to, you're trying to map your way through the city. I think that's awesome.
Yep.
And it looks like it connects. The theme connects pretty well in there, right?
Yeah, I'm zazzed to try this one. It looks really it just looks really fun. And all those games are kind of like, taking the SAT.
They hurt your brain, man.
No, I just meant like filling out all the bubbles all up and down the thing, send it through the Scantron to see who wins.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, that's true.
But no, they're super fun. I like them, and I'm excited to try this. And I love that there's a BJ's Gumbo in there because, maybe you don't know why I'm excited about it, but I love it.
BJ's Gumbo and Cajun Jewelers. Look, you can't beat that, right?
Seems like a missed opportunity for Motor City Games to call it loaded roll and write. There's got to be something car themed there, like a muscle car roll and write or a horsepower roll and write, or
that's the name they chose, loaded roll and write. I kind of understand it,
Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense, but you're right. It could have been something a muscle powered roll and write. Rob, what you think?
Looks cool. I am not a roll and write fan, so I play them a couple of I just need a couple of them, and I've got the couple I like. And
I forgot to tell you one of the mechanics in the game, though. It's 1 versus many.
Oh man,
no, it's not actually. It's not. There's a hidden trick.
No, I normally play them once or twice, and that's about. You know what though? I play most games once or twice. So.
I'm designing a hidden movement roll and write to get Rob into the genre.
Right. Is this Fury of Prud'homme, BJ?
Well,
is that
It could be. It could be Fury of Desatel. It could be. We could see it. I really do like the artwork. It captures the city really well. I love the fact that somebody, I don't know which one of the three, was thinking streetcar, stumbling around, and riverboat. And they all work differently in terms of that. There's also a couple. I think they're going to throw in an expansion, a mayor's expansion, which just adds one more level of complexity on top. I like what I see already. Out of the 4, I gotta say, Steve, this might be my favorite, and here's why. Toledo has become my favorite of all the Italian game designs because it's so accessible. I've taught it to just about anybody, and they pick it up. Like it's very accessible. The iconography is easy to figure out. The game starts out a little slow, and by the end of the game, you're taking these really long turns. Same way with the French Quarter. I found Motor City to be just brutal on my brain. I mean, it's a really chunky one. Three Sisters was my favorite before this, but I want to get a couple more plays of French Quarter in, especially want to play it with the new stuff to see if there's any changes. But this might be my favorite. So,
but this isn't out yet, right?
It's going to be out on Kickstarter. He did not say when, but it's coming pretty soon. I would expect this month. This month or next. So it'll be they usually try to do a spring Kickstarter. That way they can deliver to the backers. And they've done this on all their games. They have the spring Kickstarter, and then by February you're getting, because you're seeing pictures of Motor City everywhere. Like they've been delivering it. It's out in retail. Three Sisters is back in retail. So there's a lot. Any other thoughts?
Looks awesome.
I'm all over this one.
Very cool.
I like it. Let me get the next one set up, and I'll turn this one over to you guys. Let's see. What do y'all think? Distilled or Earth? No, let's talk about Earth. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, the Board Boys podcast. I got Rob and Cam and TK, and we're talking spicy hot games. And here's one that I have no clue how to play. I'm in 2 games on BGA right now, and I'm just button mashing, or as Steve says,
Flail and fail.
Flail and fail. That's basically what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that you guys in 5 minutes could take me from an absolute neophyte to helping me beat Zach and Jared in the game. Who could do that?
I mean, you just score points. Am I the only one that's actually played a physical copy of this game?
Yep.
Yeah, if you don't count digital copies, then yeah.
Well,
What?
I don't even know what to say to that.
They stopped the show.
Now everyone knows what we deal with on a daily basis.
Wayne says, best way to learn a game of BGA, just click things until you see a score.
That's how I
Exactly.
learned how to play. I played 4 times, and now I'm a master of it.
I mean, that's all you need to know with this. I mean, Earth is brand new hotness. It's already 450 on BGG. Maxime Tardif is the designer, a bunch of artists, and it's by Inside Up Games. It's on BGA if you want to play it. Tactically,
I've played one of Maxim's games before. Have you played Deep Sea, mini Deep Sea Diver, or Diver City? That's it, Diver City.
yeah. And the main thing I like about it is the game is, all right, that's a good picture right there. So you basically take one of, I believe, 4 actions, and you get to do the top thing, and then everyone else gets to do the bottom thing. And the main thing you're doing is planning things in a 4x4 grid, trying to score points. Or that second action there is to get dirt, and you spend dirt to plant the plants, which is the first action. That second symbol there, that kind of looks like a recycled card symbol, is putting cards in your compost pile, which that's like another resource you can use to do things with. Like you can spend things out of your compost. They're also worth points at the end of the game. The next action is putting little green growth cubes on your cards, which are also worth points at the game. And then the fourth one, I can't really remember. Oh, bring us in there.
It's growing the tree.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah, it's growing the tree on the card. And you get points for that, too. You get points per segment, or if you've grown the full thing like you see there. I'm not sure if that's a legal tree or not. Is that 4 tall? Anyway.
It's 3 tall. Yeah,
that's
tall.
cheating. That you can't do that.
Oh, you can't?
Well, see the little brown 4 on there? You should have 4 total pieces, which is like 3 little trunks and then a topper piece. And then that is worth 7 points at the end of the game.
Well, that's what they have. They have 3 pieces
It looks
and
like
then the
3.
little topper.
And
Okay. The topper has a piece to it, though. So I don't know. Anyway, that's worth 7 points. If you don't have all of it, you just get a point per chunk. So like that one next to it that has 3 chunks on it,
Yeah.
it's only worth 3 points. But if you put one more, it'd be 8.
Don't these look like the settlers in what's the game where you play the different spirits? The Spirit Island. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And then the other thing you do is you just trigger everything. The action has a color associated with it, and you trigger everything in your tableau of that color, starting in the top left, going across and down all the rows. And so I wasn't sure if it would be like, I thought it'd be a pretty good BGA game because it's going to do all that for you. But then also it's not as satisfying because it all kind of just goes bloop, 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 bloop. My wife is scaring me right now.
Jeremy wants to know, Rob, anybody, do y'all read about the plants as you play? Do y'all look at the flavor text?
I love flavor text. That's my favorite thing about Wingspan, which this game people have kind of compared it to. And I think the reason why they compare it is, in Wingspan, when you play a card or you do an action, you then trigger everything in that row.
Right.
You do that in this game, only you trigger your whole tableau of all the colors that match. And you're doing all kinds of things. Like you'll be taking green cubes to grow plants, or taking the plant chunks off to put green cubes, or to get dirt. Like everything just kind of mishmashes into everything else. And you're just trying to build an engine to dump out lots of stuff on your board because everything is points. And that's the best explanation I've got. Like it feels very point. You can just, you throw stuff at the wall and points stick to it is all that happens. And my big thing was, I thought, I've only played it one time. And the big thing was, is it going to be annoying messing with all the pieces all the time and doing all the things? And ultimately, I didn't think so.
Yeah, like Space Base. I loved Space Base a long time ago, but I got tired of fiddling around with all the parts. Then I started playing on BGA, and I'm like, oh my God, it's the greatest game ever. Because BGA does all the annoying stuff for you. That's
true. I think this game has enough tactile, like I like doing it, and it's fun to watch it grow. I think this game is fun to do that part of it, as far as moving the pieces around. I mean, if you're lazy and maybe you don't want to do it, go to BGA. But I think it's fine in real life. We'll find out, though. I've only played it once.
Rob, you said you played this in person, the hard copy?
Yeah.
Okay. My question, I played this only on BGA a couple of times. And as you're growing the tree with the trunks, is it kind of like in Takenoko where you're putting into the bamboo something that holds in place? Okay. So there's something that makes it stable rather than just stacked?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't knock anything over while I was playing.
That was one of the concerns. As it gets taller, you might be having to reach across to get to something at the top of your tableau, and we were really concerned about whether that was going to be a problem on the table.
I mean, if you knock one over, they tend to stay together anyway. I feel like they're pretty well connected.
Okay.
Some actually probably fit better than others. I had a few that you really had to kind of squeeze in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, and then you can see right there. The other thing is, if you don't like multiplayer solitaire, that's what this game. I mean, this game has almost zero player interaction.
I thought you do stuff on other players' turns.
Well, yeah, but I'm not so maybe if your play group is a group that would actually be like, oh, I do not want to trigger this, but you have so much stuff going on your board. I can't imagine you caring about 3 or 4 other players. And oh no, if I do this action, they'll trigger 30 yellow things on their board.
Right. So interaction, in other words, the agency of whether or not other players are going to take part, not whether they're just actually physically taking part.
Yeah, I can't imagine you would care that much about that.
Yeah,
to be honest. But you are racing towards primary. So everything you're playing on your board is either a fauna card or a landscape card. So that green card is a fauna card that gets on your board. That brown card that you're seeing in that person's hand is a card that basically gives you kind of a special ability. And then the front card are action cards that you play. And and a lot of them cost you negative points at the end of the game, you can see. And those you can just play on your turn. You can play those cards, I think, at any time. Maybe just on your turn. I don't remember, but they don't go in your tableau.
BGA is always asking me, do you want to play an event? Do you want to play an event? Yeah, so that's what they're talking about here?
Yeah. And then the fauna cards are all of on the main board, that first picture you had, those are all random double-sided. That's the thing with this game. I don't know how many. There's like 250 some cards. There's so many cards in this game. The replayability seems off the charts. Especially all the objective cards are like double-sided, and then everyone has objective cards on their board, like 2 or 3 objective cards on their boards, and they're shared ones. You are racing towards those objectives in the middle of the board, and that's the player interaction, is trying to get there first.
Any thoughts on the art?
I mean, it's pretty.
It's photorealistic rather than what you would have with Wingspan it is very painterly. So I think some people who might be thinking it's Wingspan might have been hoping that there would be art rather than pictures. And so I thought it was fine. I thought it was pretty, but
the player board has all the iconography on it too, which is nice.
mm-hmm.
You can see that there. And I think on the upside, I think if you missed out on the Kickstarter, I think the retail edition is just as good. I don't know that you're missing out on too much besides maybe some wooden dirt pieces or something. So right there you can see on that player's board, that blue card on the left tells you how many cards you draw and then how many of them you put in your compost. And then I think one other thing, and then it also has some points on it. Anything time where you say leaves or points. And then that middle card and the card on the right are both the middle card is a special ability card, and the card on the right is your own personal objective. And then there's a couple more of those in the middle, and then there's fauna cards in the middle that you also score.
Man, the little triangle symbol, you called it the compost?
Which triangle? Well,
on BGA it looks sort of like a triangle. I guess it's that little compost.
No, that's your currency. That's how you pay for cards.
Dirt. That's dirt. So that orange action is +2 dirt, or put 2 cards off the top of the deck in the compost. So sometimes you can put cards off the top of the deck in the compost. Other actions take cards out of your hand and put it in your compost. And sometimes you play cards out of your compost. Yeah, sorry, soil I think is the right term. I had to call it dirt.
Thank you, Kelly. I've been Cam had always asked me if I want to trade cards for this triangle symbol on BGA, and I do it on every turn. I don't know.
Or you trade the sprout. I think you trade sprouts. You have to be spending points to get soil.
Wait, I'm spinning blocks. That's right, little blocks.
Yeah. Block, but the blocks are points.
Is that a winning strategy?
I would say no.
I mean,
because you're giving up 3 points to get $2 essentially.
That seems like a good deal in my world.
Hey, I just want to say I haven't played this game physically yet. Online, digitally, this game is for me a rock hard, polished granite 3-boing game.
Oh wow!
This could be a 4 when I play it at the table. I think I'm going to get an opportunity to tomorrow night. But when we do
and that's from your physical play or the digital?
No, I've only played digitally, but I basically just learned how to play this just by clicking, and with each experience with it, I just have a better opinion of it. And the things you can do and the different ways to score points. It's so fun. There's 4 objectives to keep track of. You have a secret, a private objective. There's other 2 public objectives for endgame scoring. It's just ridiculous the amount of different ways you can do stuff in this. The spatial part of the game is really fun because there's tons of objectives that have to do or cards that activate certain types of cards in your row or column. This game is I would say it's like Wingspan and a little bit like Terraforming Mars, but cranked up to the umpteenth degree for point salad lovers. It's sick. I
agree with that. I think it's a good mix between those.
I'm getting a Terraforming Mars vibe, except without the Mars board.
I think it might be the art. The art's really Terraforming Marsy.
Yeah, I specifically didn't want to play this one on BGA because I didn't want to give it my BGA taint.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I play a game on BGA for the first time and I don't know what I'm doing, it just sours me.
Makes me like it more.
TK, have you played
it? Just online. I agree with Cam. I actually I am with Rob in that I do get the BGA taint if I don't know how to play it first. So I went and looked up how to play it, and I really liked it. I had a good time. I'd love to play it again, and I'm looking forward to play it live for sure.
Can you play solo on BGA?
Probably. I haven't tried, but a lot of BGA stuff you can solo. I recently did Arc Nova. That was pretty sick.
So TK, you do not recommend playing two different games of Earth at the exact same time without watching a video?
I don't. If you're me, I don't, because I get pretty. It definitely taints my experience, and I can't pull my head out of that. So,
do you guys not get the fun oh, now I understand what this icon means that I've just been clicking for the last 4 days? it feels so good to learn like one rule and then part of the game.
I actually taught. That's how I learned Grand Austria Hotel. I played it like 20 times, learning one new rule each time we played it. Until after 20 times, I finally figured it out. Now I love the game.
It's how I learned Obsession and how I learned Space Station Phoenix also, and I just grew to like the game more. I mean, knowing the rules, I guess, is a big part of liking a game, isn't it?
Yeah, and not feeling stuck. Like that's my problem. Is just you feel stuck and you're like, I don't know what to do, and then you just click something. And
Rob's calling shenanigans. He's played it on BGA and in person, and it's good, but not great. Harsh words.
I have a play in it. We'll see how it goes. This will probably also be an episode fairly soon.
I like it. I still used to like the episodes where you would actually take a break to go play the game and then come back and talk about the game.
We still do that.
Every once in a while.
We just play before recording and pretend we're playing in the middle.
At a certain point, I was like, this is goofy to get the recording equipment out and then set up the game around the equipment and then do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to streamline the process here, baby.
Yep. Patrick Newman says he learned Dominion basically playing the online version. Yeah. I like whenever you can try out different strategies. The beauty of playing 100 Castle of Burgundy games over and over and over again when you're playing it is that you can just let me try the yellow tile strategy. Let me try the farm strategy.
Agreed heavily.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, Mr. BGA Alpha. That's right.
And no, I'm just a beta in comparison with the real crazy players, but I keep like 30 games going.
The Kellys.
The real question though, where does it match up, Rob, between this and Can't Stop?
Between Earth and Can't Stop?
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped Can't Stop, so Cam's out.
Oh wow. he just left the podcast. Wow.
But if we're talking about online implementations, Yucata.de has some of my favorite games. I'd rather play a lot of games on there.
We need to be friends on there.
They just got Newton on there.
Yeah, you won't get any argument from us. Yucata's got some absolutely fantastic games. I think
Yucata names.
Is Boadicea done? Is it over?
They announced that they're ending very soon.
Man.
Yeah.
They're not listen, everybody. They are not going to have a party for the world.
No party for the world.
You can't play Alchemist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Concordia. It's the only other than Steam, it's the only place to play Concordia online for free.
Right.
That is tough. We'll just have to get some Steam games going. Mm-hmm. All right, we got one more to talk about. I think maybe another one. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. It's getting close to that 9:30 hour there, Steve. One more. More.
Do one more. I'm going to step away and come back while you prep it.
All right, let me get that ready then. BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, the Board Boys podcast. I got Rob, I got TK, I got Cam, and they've got a game I haven't played, but the theme alone has got me excited. Tell me about Distilled. Oh man, this game looks good.
I'm going to let Tim talk about this one because he's the one that bought it.
Yeah,
I did have it in my hand at Dungeons Gate, and his wife showed up and was like, I'm supposed to buy that for Tim. So I let him have it.
Yeah. So it's a game about distilling alcohols. So most of the kind of meat of the game is, Rob, you say a market row. You purchase items for your alcohol you're going to distill, and then after you're kind of done purchasing, you make your alcohol. So you have to combine a water, a yeast, and some sort of sugar, and then depending on how much sugar you put in, you gain alcohol cards, which you can't actually see on there, but you basically kind of shuffle your little deck together, and you discard the top and the bottom card, and you turn out an alcohol, and then you can kind of see the little white board with the brown pegs in it right there.
Yeah.
Depending on what's in your hand after you discard the top and bottom, you get an alcohol. So say I had the 3 wheat sugars in my alcohol after I've kind of discarded, then I would make whiskey or something like that. So once you kind of do that, you can decide, is it an alcohol that needs to be aged? So it needs to go into a barrel and be aged, or is it something that I can, it needs to go be sold right away? So you either age it or sell it. And then, if you age it, it sits in your warehouse. And then the next round, so right there, you can see there's a metal barrel and a glass bottle. So if you age it, it'll continue to grow flavor in it, which is basically extra points. And then on the next round, you can decide to sell it and get money. And you basically do that over 7 rounds. There's some signature ingredients. There's a player power up top above the barrel. You can see that you can put like you can
the row of piles at the top.
So the row of piles at the top is like a bonus point that when you make an alcohol, you get not bonus point, but bonuses. You get a bonus, and then there's like 3 card slots next to that. I think that's a none is one of the distillers, where you can put like upgrades to your warehouse and stuff. So basically, you spend 7 rounds kind of distilling an alcohol. The theme is very cool. The discard, the top and the bottom, I think is great. Kind of gives you a little random there, and then there's a lot of that like middle card where it says like whiskey and gin. They call them tasting flight. I think there's like 8 different sets of those. So there's a bunch of different alcohols that take different combinations. You can kind of Robinize game. All of those alcohols will need to be aged. So it makes it a little bit harder. It definitely way harder, Rob. And
was it?
Yeah, it was way harder. Yeah.
Kelly wants to know, do you get vibes of viticulture? And I've got a different game from viticulture that this is drawing comparisons to.
I don't think so too much because there's no worker placement. It's basically just purchasing things and making sure that you're making your alcohol the best it can be.
How about compounded? Have any of you guys played compounded?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? No? Okay. Compounded, you're mixing up ingredients to try to make, I don't remember, you're trying to make other ingredients by using these compound elements. So
it would be a lot like that. Yeah. You basically create a deck of cards and then shuffle them up and kind of discard a couple and make alcohol. And then, depending on, there's 2 normal kind of ingredients and then bronze, silver, and gold. So you can kind of, as you get more and more stuff and you kind of get into the game, you can start making gold recipes, which are harder to make, give you more points, get you more money, things like that. So
Rob says he's getting a press your luck feeling from it.
Yeah, a little bit. You can mitigate that luck by making sure your deck is stacked with enough things where if you draw 2 cards out of it, you can still make what you need to make.
Nugget. There's a nugget in here, Cam.
Every game should have at least one nugget, if not 2.
Kelly says, she was talking about where you age in the cellar, and it sounds like it has kind of a similar mechanic there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wayne said he played it. He played it. He liked how thematically it adds all the mechanics to it, but he said he played it at the cafe and that was enough not necessarily having to back it. What attracted to you, TK? Was it the mechanics themselves, the mechanisms, or was it the thematic setting?
I actually don't drink, but it was the theme. So,
interesting.
The theme around it, making alcohol, aging stuff, and kind of, deciding what that was. And then my wife doesn't play a ton of board games, but she saw it and was like, hey, that's something I'm interested in. So anytime she does that, it's like, that's an instant buy for me. And so she hasn't got to play it yet, but we'll get it out here soon. And I'm sure she'll like it. So
is there a way, in compounded, whenever you make compounds, you can create a lab fire if you're not careful. You got to be careful with what you're mixing. So there's that kind of push your luck thing. Is there something like that here where you can mess up the whiskey if you don't distill it correctly?
So you can end up not making whiskey, but you will always make an alcohol as long as you have the 3 main ingredients. And one of those might be moonshine. So you can kind of basically make moonshine, which is the worst alcohol to make for points, but the best alcohol to make for money, if that makes sense. So you make a lot of money, so you get more points next time.
You can moonshine it up. Rob says another one he didn't love, but he would say try before you buy.
I would agree with that.
You're the opposite. Buy before you try.
I would try it before you buy it. I think it's good. I liked it. I don't know that everybody would love it, but it's definitely good.
Steve, you're a connoisseur of fine drinks. What are you thinking here?
This is interesting to hear because I was thinking along the same lines as Kelly, wondering if this, when I had seen the original art, if it was going to be worker placement a la viticulture. But being able to turn things into gins with botanicals rather than whiskeys with aging in barrels sounds thematic, but the theme needs to be secondary to the mechanics in some ways for me. So if it sounds like it's an okay game with a theme I love, I might rather find a game I love and just enjoy the other part of the hobby by imbibing it.
Well, it's definitely imbibing the game. I like that.
Yeah,
It's definitely a try for me. I definitely want to try this.
I'd say everybody
theme
try
stands
it.
out.
It was a little on the pricier side for a game. It was probably like $80 MSRP or something like that. So definitely
It
try
was
it.
intriguing when I saw it first listed, but the price point made me think that's not something I'm going to invest in blindly just because the theme sounds good.
But what if TK gave you the famous TK money back guarantee? If you didn't like it, he's going to buy it from you.
100%. I will for sure.
Doable with that.
Verla, what do you think? Are you
I want to
sold?
give it a try. I'm not sold, but I want to try it.
Rob, you've been quiet. Thoughts on this game?
I liked it. I don't need to own it, but I will play Tim's copy anytime he wants to play it. It was fun. I think it's fairly accessible. Like you said.
Where is Duga when we need him to say, it was okay. I think I'll have to buy it.
And I didn't say that this time.
He
But
did.
I think, I don't remember. Tim, does your copy have metal coins in it?
No metal coins.
Oh,
Okay.
God. Cam, how many times did we say that weekend? Oh, my God.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Yeah, it was probably more than we said. This is my favorite game.
Yeah, no, that was this
That's the
year's
other
thing.
line. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
this
sorry,
year's
2
line. Yeah.
2 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting
Because
mixed
I thought the copy that Tim bought, I mean, it came with the game trays and stuff.
Mhm.
So I guess I don't know what the difference between the Kickstarter was and what you can get in retail, but what you got in retail looked really, really nice.
Man, TK, a lot of people are taking you up on the offer, so get ready, man.
right.
We'll just need your PayPal. So
Yeah, just send me your addresses. I'll send you something.
right. Wayne says, big issue. The cafe did a retailer pledge for folks, and they didn't send it with the metal coins. What is that about?
Mm.
I wonder if they were an add-on or something.
Yeah.
The retail pledge didn't come with the metal one? I don't know if Sobo has it in a copy, but there's a rumor that the board boys are going to be one of our very special guests for Sobo. So maybe they can confirm that tonight. They're going to be coming to Sobo in October. No comment yet? No.
BJ, you're looking for confirmation that somebody's going to a con?
Right.
Did you just say that you need somebody else to confirm something?
I want them to say they want to come, man. Come down to
Yeah, there you
Louisiana.
I want to.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Iowa is
also in October.
Wouldn't it be cool for you guys to do the Board Boys podcast in Iowa, Louisiana?
I agree.
I think so.
If these guys will, I will.
45 minutes. It's 45 minutes down the
So
road.
the board boys need to take BJ to task with this. I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, they do.
What you need to do is hint that you might be interested in it for 5 months, and then eventually commit and forget you committed, or pretend that you forget you committed.
Oh,
And so
man.
play BJ's game. Make him work for it.
I totally forgot
Yeah.
about that. I wasn't even thinking. Man,
Kelly's
I
got the right
blew
answer.
the joke. I blew
Kelly's
that.
got the
No, I
right
blew
answer.
that joke. I would have ran that joke in the ground tonight. Oh, man.
Is that
Totally
something
forgot.
BJ does? Run jokes
Oh,
into the
yes.
ground?
Hmm.
Ah.
Patrick says, good night, y'all. It's fun. Thank you for checking in,
Oh,
Patrick. That was it.
Bye,
Patrick, you're gonna miss the game, and you're gonna want to do this one because I actually designed the game. I designed it for Patrick, so I can't believe he's gonna miss this, but that's all right.
Oh no.
All right, so that is Distilled. It's a try for me. I definitely want to try it. That's one. I don't know about picking it up, but if I like it, I do tend to like games like that. They don't always stay in my collection. Homebrewers was one that I thought I would like, and then I just mechanically it was like played it once or twice, and that was enough for me. So, but Viticulture has stuck around. Same thing with Vinhos. Vinhos is great. It stayed in my collection. So
Just add it to the list for BGG Con. That'll be 50,000 games long by the time November hits.
we're gonna have to add a day before and a day after. But seriously, we should add a day before and just that would be the game. That would be the day we play all the games we bring. You know what I mean? We got to get those out.
You're going to need to do 3 or 4 days if you're adding Rob into that.
Brew Crafters. Wayne, I have a story for you. I've owned Brew Crafters, I think, 3 times now, and I've yet to ever play it.
That's like me with Heaven and Ale.
You've never played Heaven and Ale?
Oh,
No, I'd really like to because it looks like the funnest one of them to me.
Oh, you got to add that to the list. Can you add that to the list, Rob? The little
Sure. We'll play it without Cam.
Oh, that's true.
I'll
That'd
play
be
it
cool.
with you.
Thank
Play
you.
the game.
Thank you.
I'm just
3
saying it
times,
won't be
Wayne.
there.
I finally got a copy of it recently. I'm so
Very
excited.
good.
I also owned Heaven and Ale and never played it before I saw it.
I own it now, so I'm gonna. You know what? It's coming off the shelf of shame.
Shelf of opportunity, man.
Sorry, the shelf of opportunity.
It's
I have
excellent.
keys. Hadn't PC'd up my terminology for my board game collection.
By the
yet.
way, that is a game, like most games, that is a game you could beat me at because I am absolutely horrible at that game. I am
But it's
so bad.
fun.
Oh, I'm so bad at it, but it's fun. Yeah, Brewcrafters, I've owned it 3 times. What's the other one? Wildcatters, I've owned twice, and both times I got rid of them before I could actually play them. Oh, it stinks. One of these days. All right, you guys know what? It's a board game show. Do you know what we have to do?
Play a game.
We got to play a game. That's right. Okay, so I've got something fancy. Let's see if this is going to work, Verla. I brought something kind of fancy.
All right. What are you up to this time?
Complex.
Let me see. Let me see how this works. So, there we go. All right. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Look how fancy you are.
Bells and whistles.
So, Steve, I pressed the wrong button. That's why I couldn't get
That
it
was
to
the
work.
reason. Okay.
Now it works. I don't even have to look at the screen here. It's all here. All right. So we are going to play a game we have called at various times Douay Touffet. We've called it Heartthrob, the board game, or board game, the Heartthrob, because we're trying not to get in trouble with the manufacturer. Steve, do you want to talk about how we play it, or do you want me to do it?
No, this is you, BJ. Take it.
Okay, I'll do it. So in this game, we're going to need to get the private chat going. What we're going to do is we're going to present to the chat crew 4 games, 4 snacks or food, and 4 groups of people. Starting with the game, we're each going to pick what we really have the envie to play, like which one of those 4 we really want to play. We're also going to pick which one we think the chat crew would play. And that's why we're going to go to private chat when we're doing that part so that we can't cheat. And as a bonus, we have to pick the one person in the group that what they would want to pick. But you can't ever pick the same person twice. So there's a chance to score 2 points in each round. Steve, can you keep track of the points for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll track points. But I'll need you all to help me report.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right. So any questions about the game before we get started? We're going to be picking a game, and you're trying to figure out which one of the 4 you want to play. You're going to pick a game that you think the chat crew wants to play, and you're going to pick a game that you think somebody else wants to play.
So you'd have to pick the game and write down the name of the person.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to do that.
Got it.
And,
are we typing all of this in, BJ, or are we writing ours down and just announcing them?
The only one that you're going to type in the private chat is the chat crew.
Is the chat crew one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So,
cool.
And it looks like we're getting this here. Yeah. Got it. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
What is the weight rating of this game on BGG?
Of the board game, the Heartthrob?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5.1.
It's at least 4.5,
5.1.
I think.
5.1.
Okay.
5.1.
It's 4.5.
It's 4.5 boings.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So
We'll see about that.
The first game, French Quarter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So everybody switch over to private chat so we're not looking at what they're saying. Okay?
Right.
Second game, Fury of Dracula. I wonder why I threw that one in there. Zapotec is the third game. I had to throw that one in. Actually, I have a reason for this one. Not what you're thinking. And the fourth one is Tricarion. All of these were geared toward Rob, so to make it even tougher for me and Cam and TK. So just to remind you, that's your 4. French Quarter, Fury of Dracula, Zapotec, and Tricarion. So on your piece of paper, write down the one you want to do. Write down the one you think someone else would do. And I'm going to go. I already got mine. And then whenever we're ready, you're going to type into the chat what you think the chat crew is going to do. But don't hit send yet. All right. Everybody let me know when you're done. I'm ready. I forgot to put mine. I forgot.
What was the third one again, BJ?
Yeah,
French
sure.
Quarter, Fury of Dracula.
Tricarion.
Zapotec.
Fury of Dracula
Gotcha.
and French Quarter.
So what you want to play, what the chat crew wants to play, and what somebody else in this
And
group
pick
wants to
somebody
play.
from our group here
Yep.
and what you think they'd play.
All right. Are we all ready?
I'm ready.
Not quite. Give me
Did
just a
it.
second.
I think so.
Verla, let us know when you're ready.
Just a sec.
All right. So 3 choices. Yours, one other person, and the chat crew. And we're going to put the chat crews inside the thing. All right. Ready, Verla?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, yes. We all had that.
Yeah.
So, Steve, go back to the did we all pick the same one?
I think
did.
we did
We
for
did.
chat. Everybody picked the exact same thing for chat.
Well, I don't
Your
have any-
fan base is located in Louisiana, right?
I don't have anybody in the chat, so we'll just have to wait to see if they add, unless our chat's a little behind. But I don't see anybody adding in there. we may not be able to do the chat if we lose the chat. Oh, some people are walking the dog in the park.
We may have lost some of the folks. Oh, there's an answer.
They're rolling in. All right, so let's go with Rob. Who'd you pick?
You want my game or my person?
Give me your person and what they said. He picked TK and he put try carry on.
Yes.
Did he get a point?
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so
I
Rob
like it.
gets one.
All right, TK, you're up. Who did you pick?
You probably can't read it. I got Rob and Fury of Dracula.
Rob, is that right?
Oh yeah, that was
Oh.
close. Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
So, Steve, you're up.
I had for my choice for one of the others, BJ and French Quarter.
You are correct. I picked French Quarter, even though I almost Cyloned you because I was going to pick a different game. So that's
I think you're saving your Cylon call for the last of the three.
Probably so, yeah.
I thought I might be safe on the first one.
I chose Rob and I picked Try Carry On. So
Yep.
I think I got a point on that one. Is that right, Rob?
You did.
All right. So put me
BJ
down for
gets
points,
one.
Steve. Cam,
I'll get
you're
one.
up.
Look, I know everybody in here except Steve, and I don't think there's a reason to play a game if you're not going to play on hard. So I chose Steve, and I went with French Quarter.
Nope.
Ah!
It's a good call, though.
I would've
do
picked
like
French
rolling
Quarter
rights,
for
but I
you.
tend to be more along the lines of there's a couple that I will repeatedly go back to.
What'd you pick?
I picked Fury of Dracula. I need to go back to that.
Really?
I played it once and got really frustrated that we could not corner Kevin. And ever since then, it's kind of nagged at me that we need to bring him back to the table as Dracula and hunt him back down.
I
again.
would have bet money French Quarter. Verla,
Yeah.
what you got?
I said Cam and try carry on.
Ooh, Verla, I'm sorry. I'm a rolling
Sorry,
rider.
man.
I
Oh,
love
he
to
is,
carry on, but I can't wait
Okay.
to play French Quarter.
he is definitely a rolling rider. Yep. All right, so that's the easy part of the round. The chat crew has Try Carry On. None of us got it because we all said French Quarter.
0
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, 0 points for that.
All right. So
All right.
after
Wayne,
the
you
first
might
round,
be the only one playing because everybody else is walking around. So that's fine. First round, what we got?
First round, I think that Rob, BJ, and I got a point, unless I'm counting incorrectly. Double check me.
I got a point.
Okay. So I think it's 1 to 1 to 1 to 0 to 0 to 0. at this
Okay,
point.
it's
a tight match.
It's
a barn
anybody's game.
burner here.
It's anybody's game.
Yep.
All right, so second up, we've got 4 choices for the snack. But here's the twist. I'm going to show you the snacks, but it's going to be the combination with the game.
And we got to go back to private chat too, so not seeing anything.
Back to private
Okay.
chat. So chat crew, don't pick yet till we get through all 4 choices. Okay. So we're looking at gumbo, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's a problem with this gumbo, by the way. You don't put shrimp and sausage in the same gumbo. I'm sorry. I don't know who did this. So don't
thing.
kill me, Duga, if you're looking at this. We have steak and garlic bread. Steve knows where I'm going with this one.
Yeah, I get you.
Corn. Just plain corn.
Just corn.
Just corn. I mean, we have 3 guys from Iowa here.
Yeah.
We gotta have corn, right?
Yeah.
And look, there's nothing else in the picture. It's just corn. Okay. And then we got for my buddy Cam. What is this?
That is ceviche, and that looks like Peruvian ceviche because
It
there's
is-
the camote, and it's made the correct way without avocados and tomatoes and that kind of stuff.
I
Mhm.
was called out whenever I tried to put a Long Island bagel, and apparently it wasn't a Long Island bagel. I
No.
did my research this time, and it's an actual Peruvian ceviche.
Right.
I mean, as an American, I accept other forms of ceviche, but this is the best Peruvian style.
All right, but here's your 4 choices. That's not your 4 choices. Your 4 choices are French Quarter and gumbo. Fury of Dracula and steak and garlic, Steve.
I
I
I
knew
don't know
it.
when those went together.
Zapotec, of course, with corn. If you played Zapotec, you know why I have corn in there. And try carry-on and ceviche. That was not very a thematic choice, but I know Peruvians are known for magic, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Like
we can say that.
entertainers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's your 4 choices. You have Tricarion and ceviche, Zapotec and corn, Fury Dracula with the little grinder. You know, it's got the garlic bread and the steak, French Quarter and gumbo.
So quick question, quick thematic question here. Is
Yep.
this what you would want to have, or the thing that you think is the best match?
It's what you would want to have. This is your.
Oh,
You're having a game night, and this is the game you're going to play with the food you want to serve. And then you have to think of some. Then you have to think of the other person. Yeah, and again, money's
helps me a little bit.
Money, time, skill. None of that is an object. It's not like, well, I don't know how to make a roux. That's not it. Your Emerald is going to come in and make the gumbo for you, right? Cam is going to come in and make you the Peruvian ceviche for you. So that's not the issue. It's just which game would you pick along with which food? All right, so you're picking your favorite. You're picking the chat crew's choice, basically Wayne, and you're picking one other person that you haven't picked before. Okay, so I'm gonna go look at these slides again. I'm gonna go. Okay.
No, shoot.
And then for mine.
Oh, I forgot who had it.
Mine, I'm going to go. Okay. And the chat crew. What are we going to do with the chat crew? We got to think of the chat. All right. I'm thinking, All right. How close are we? Are we ready?
Ready.
I guess I gotta type it in though. Hold on.
All right. TK says he's ready. Rob?
Yep.
Rob's thumbs up. Steve's thumbs up. All right. 3, 2, 1. Push it in. Oh, we've got some different choices here. Let's go back to the comments and see.
Interesting.
Oh, Wayne says no, wait. What did he say?
Changing over to Dracula with steak and garlic.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So we'll start it up with, let's see. Verla, you start this time.
Okay, I said, who did I say here? TK with a ceviche tricarion mix. No.
Yes? What did he say?
Gumbo.
Okay.
Why the French Quarter gumbo?
I love gumbo.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Yep. I love gumbo. And I think I'm in between Cam and Rob on the Roll and Write thing. I did like Three Sisters. I've been playing Hadrian's Wall, which has been fantastic. So
That's super fun.
I'm in. Yeah.
That is a loaded roll and write, if there ever was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The solo challenge fort thing, I know we talked about on Discord, has been really fun.
And you picked for the chat crew, you picked who? Verla?
Sorry.
Oh, for chat?
Yeah.
I said corn. But then I forgot my mom was walking the dog. So if she had been here, she would have said corn, and then she probably would have said it's got the juice, and she could tell you all about it.
And TK, what did you pick?
For the chat crew, I got the steak and garlic.
Steak and garlic. Okay.
So that's the only vote we have so far. So Rob and actually all y'all, Cam, Rob, and TK are going to get a point for that, right?
Yeah.
Cam, Rob, and TK all got the steak and the garlic bread. Nice.
On the board.
Did y'all get the joke? Those steak and garlic. For the,
yeah.
Could you explain it to me? I don't understand.
All right, TK. Who did you pick?
I picked Steve and ceviche.
That is a solid choice. I did change and go with Tricarion and ceviche because I have not had it in ages.
Let's go.
Well done, TK.
You did change it up.
Steve.
Who was that one? TK get?
Yeah, TK gets a point.
All right. Good call.
Steve, you're up.
I went with Verla, and I also gave it a shot with ceviche. Let's see if that comes up. No.
Try not. I said gumbo.
You said
gumbo and
French
French Quarter.
Okay.
Wow. Man, 25th Century Games are going to love this. That's very popular, French Quarter. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Verla already did yours, right? So I'll go to Rob. Rob, what you got?
I went with Cam, and I tried the ceviche.
Without a doubt, best food in the world.
Oh, Cam went ceviche? Oh, man.
Nailed it.
So Rob gets another.
Spoiler alert, Steve, you don't have to do anything for me. Cam, you're up.
Yeah. I feel bad. I was just going with the people I know like the least and I went with Verla. I thought you were adventurous, Verla, so I went with the ceviche and the Tricuran as well. But
no,
sorry, I shouldn't have made that assumption. But I feel like you're a lover of adventure. Am I wrong of that?
Not when it comes to food so much.
Mm.
Anything else in life? Yes.
You do. You like stand-up paddling and getting in the outdoors. So I think, Cam, you're on the right track.
I just got like from the hour I spoke with Verla while we were setting up Marrakesh that day. I was feeling really sick. I learned a lot about her life, and I was like, oh, this is somebody who would eat ceviche. But I guess
that 1 hour was not enough.
Yeah.
I unfortunately I did not get it because I went with Cam and French Quarter and Gumbo because I know you love rolling rides.
I do, and I love gumbo.
Oh, man.
So that was a good choice. I would have loved. I do.
Do you?
I do.
You don't love it as much as TK.
I don't love it as much as I love ceviche, but that's it's close.
All right, so let's get on to the last part. So we've got our game, we've got the food we're serving. We need people to play the board games, right? All right, let's see what we got.
Back to private chat.
Back to private chat. So we're not cheating.
Okay.
We've got Drew Brees and Deuce McAllister.
Okay.
Drew Brees, Deuce McAllister. That's first choice. Second choice. Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. You might remember this movie. I don't remember the names anymore. Lestat.
Lestat.
His Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah,
Right?
Lestat and somebody else. Yep. And then we have the Midwesterners. The Midwesterners. These are all fictional people who claim to be from the Midwest, including Ron Burgundy, Iowa's own Ron Burgundy. I did not know that. Steve, did you know that Burgundy was from Iowa?
I did not know that.
He's actually from Iowa.
I did know that Axel was from Detroit.
He's from Detroit. Tom Selleck's from Michigan. All these people are supposedly from the Midwest. And the last one, of course, we could not do the game without Steve Walsh. And who wouldn't want to have Steve Walsh at their party, at their board game night? So your four choices, chat crew, are Deuce McAllister and Drew Brees eating gumbo and playing French Quarter, the loaded roll and white with you. We've got Fury of Dracula with garlic and steak. You need the garlic and steak. You need the steak, Steve, to protect yourself from Lestat and his friends.
Sure.
The Midwesterners eating corn. And finally, three different versions of Steve Walsh around the table for you in a long-time gumbo tradition. You don't play Cam with one Steve Walsh. You play with all three. That's your choice. You've got DJ Steve Walsh, Record Steve Walsh, and YouTube Steve Walsh, and they will all be playing Try Carry On and eating Peruvian ceviche, as I'm sure Steve Walsh's daughters will attest that he does that all the time, or he did that all the time. Too soon?
Kind of a ceviche guy. No, I think he died like 35 years ago. So
we're okay.
Yeah.
All right, chat crew. So your choices: French Quarter gumbo with some famous saints, Dracula with a meat grinder, and Lestat. The Midwesterners eating corn and Zapotec, obviously a popular choice, and Steve Walsh. Can't pick the same person. Man, I'm really stuck here.
That we've picked before, right?
Yeah,
But
you
can
can't
pick. Can you pick the same grouping for the chat and for a person in our group?
Absolutely. You can stick with the same one there. You just can't pick the same person. You got to pick somebody different. Wow, man, I'm really stuck here. I'm not sure. Wow. I'm gonna stick with what I had, I think. Let me just think about this.
At this point, we're all chasing Rob. But the only person who I think honestly has a shot to catch and win would be TK.
Just like our Darwin's game.
TK, no pressure. This is going to be the most important decision you make all day.
Man, I don't know.
Yes. You're not doing this round, BJ, like the last ones where this one's now worth 1,000 points?
Yeah, we could go 1,000 points. 1,000 points. If you get
1,000 points each? If you get the chat?
No, the chat crew's 1 point.
Chat crew's
1,000
1
points
point,
if you get the
1,000
right
points
person.
for one of the others.
1,000 points if you get one of the other ones.
Okay.
Man. I am stuck here.
All right.
Is everybody ready?
Yep.
I'm almost ready. Let's see. All right, I'm ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, punch it in. Oh, we've got missing. Do we have everybody? Is that everybody? We got a bunch of different choices here.
1, 2, 3. That's everybody.
Well, no, we have 2 different choices. Okay, so let's go back to the main one and see what was picked. He went Dracula. What did I pick? Oh, I didn't pick that. Oh, Wayne. Oh man, we are not on the same page.
Nobody gets it.
Nobody got it.
Nobody gets it.
All right. So Cam, who'd you pick?
Well, I went with Rob, and I wanted to pick you on this one, BJ, but I just felt like Rob loves those Midwesterners so much that I had to go with it, and we'll see if I'm right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, I would totally want to play board games with Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I saw those guys, I was like, I can't not give Rob a shout out.
I know we didn't show mine last time, but I did do Fury of Dracula and the steak and garlic bread just because I love weird, like corny combos like that.
Oh, okay.
So it really tipped me over here going just the people, the sheer amount of star power in that.
Yeah, you put one famous movie guy on a thing for Rob, he's going to choose it. He couldn't avoid 6.
Yeah, but the other one had two of the biggest. Although, I mean, there's a pretty big.
Yeah, but are you a Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise guy, or are you like a Will Ferrell, Leo DiCaprio kind of guy? Because I think you're a Midwesterners kind of guy for those
That'd
characters.
Be weird.
How are you not picking Drew Brees just so that you could stick it to Dave Dugas next time you saw him? Like I played French Quarter with Deuce McAllister. Dave,
is Dave's beard modeled after Deuce McAllister?
It is. Oh my God, they look alike.
They do kind of look like look like brothers.
There's a bit of a vibe there.
Ooh,
yeah.
When that would be cool when we see him for a BGG con. You should start calling him Deuce.
Dave Duska.
Dave Duska. All right, so that was Cam picking.
So Cam gets
Rob.
1,000, right?
Yeah, so. A grand, baby.
I think so.
Cam takes the lead with 1,001.
And you're right, though, Rob. We did forget to ask yours, and that would have been a key answer, Steve, if we had known what Rob had picked in that second round. We messed that up.
True.
All right, I blame it on me. Rob, what you got?
I went with BJ, and I really struggled with this one, but I also said Zapotec.
You are not correct, sir. I'm not going to pass up a chance to play a board game with Drew Brees and Deuce McAllister. Nope, there's no way.
I didn't think you were a New Orleans fan.
I am a Saints fan. Yes, I am.
Just not as big a one as Dave.
Yeah, I mean that's like I'm Jupiter. I'm a big planet, but next to the sun. I mean, Jupiter is minuscule next to the sun.
I didn't think you liked the NFL. You were more of an SEC guy.
I really don't like the NFL. I'm not really much in the minor leagues, but I mean, sometimes you enjoy watching them. Steve, you and I watch minor league baseball sometimes. The same thing with the NFL. You want to see the up and coming players before they play in the SEC.
BJ, I gave you a shout out on the podcast for how good I thought that joke was. I'm not even a sports guy.
I did hear it. Okay, so that was you picked me, Rob. Is that right?
I did.
I picked TK. TK, just based on your radio voice, I went with Tricarion and Steve Walsh.
I went Zapotec.
Oh my God! The Midwesterners of the coin. What drew you in?
Dude, like you can't go wrong with all those guys, man. Like that's a good crew to play some
You
board
get
games
the
with.
most guys
Yeah.
out of that.
Yeah.
Look at them all.
How are you going to fit all those guys around the Zapotec board, though? I don't understand your choices here.
That's
That's
true. I mean, I guess Zapotec's only a 4-player game.
Right.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
And who's the one on the bottom? I can't really see who it is. Do we know who that is? Just the head below
I
Tom
don't know.
Selleck?
I don't know.
Oh, there's a person there.
It's your picture.
Yeah, I know, but I don't remember. I don't remember who it was. All right. So, TK,
Yeah.
you
All right.
TK
I
for the
picked-
lead here.
Okay. Gorilla.
mind meld.
Zapotec.
Yes.
Oh!
Correct.
Nailed it.
Oh,
Wow.
Welcome to the
Definitely
1,000-point club, Tim.
That is
Yeah.
going to be game, probably.
Nice, Tim. Nicely
Love
done.
it.
Nicely done.
Burley, it's your turn.
All right. I said Rob and Steve Walsh. So
And Rob did not
no
say.
points for
I
me.
did not.
Couldn't pass up those
I'm
Midwesterners.
losing the game this week, big
Has
time.
anybody guessed Cam yet?
It's coming right now.
Okay.
Steve, here we go, Steve.
I went with Cam and Steve Walsh.
Well, you're going to be wrong about that one.
No!
Just kidding. It says Steve Walsh. It doesn't matter what we're eating.
There we go.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was
that would
really.
Yeah, that's a layup right there.
The problem was I didn't save Cam to the Steve Walsh round.
I know. I know.
That was my
Right.
problem too.
Right.
I used up my Cam choice in round 2, so that would have definitely been round 3 choice for me. If only I knew what was in the board. You know, if only I knew what the
Plus
game
it
was.
doubled up with ceviche. So
Oh,
Steve,
my goodness.
I designed the game, Steve, and I still screwed up the fact that I knew exactly what Cam was going to pick in the 3rd round. Exactly
Yeah.
what he was going to pick. 1,000 points.
You sidelined yourself.
I did. I saw it on myself.
Yeah.
Well, that is
Final answer.
that is board game the Heartthrob, and Steve's going to tell us who won.
Well, TK with a big move in the last round jumps over with 1,002 points.
Wow.
Cam and I made it competitive at the end, but there was no catch in TK.
Wow!
Love it.
Congratulations! You're going to go on the board. The
Well
winner of board game the Heartthrob. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, let me close that out then. I do like the slide thing. I think it does a good job of presenting all the games,
Yeah.
Steve. That's a keeper.
That actually is going to make that particular game real smooth.
Yeah, that was fun. Any thoughts on the game? Is that a keeper?
Love it.
100%.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
Very
every
fun.
time.
You're not going to do points?
Ooh.
3 points.
Oh,
3 points.
That's
Nice.
an easy 3. 3
Four
boys
and a half.
game.
Rob,
3 hard boings.
4.5 boings.
4.5
Clearly.
points.
4.5
Probably
points.
my favorite game.
Get
That's
out.
my
It's probably my favorite game.
It's my favorite
It's
game of
okay,
all
I'll
time.
pick it up.
Yeah, it's
I'll
all right.
probably-
Dugas
guess
says
I'll-
it's okay, and he's going to have to buy it.
Yeah, it's all right. I guess I'll have to buy it. All right, board gamers, that's it for another episode of Gumbo Live. I want to thank my guests, Rob and Cam and TK, for coming in. How can they reach you if they want to talk to you about the boings?
Well, the boardboyspodcast.com or theboardboys.com is the best place to go because it has all the links, all the things, all our episodes. From there, you can find us everywhere else: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Cam's on TikTok. Sometimes.
Yeah, the last TikTok I did was a year ago, so I should probably do one tonight.
Do a post Heartthrob, the board game TikTok.
Yeah,
That's to reach
we
you.
have a Discord on there. You can get the link for the Discord and come talk with us.
a
We
very
set up
active Discord.
It is a very active Discord.
We set up a lot of BGA games on there.
And Yukata.
Yeah, so if you want to play some board games online, you'll find lots of willing folks there. We got lots of different channels for lots of different stuff. Yeah, and just anywhere where you can find a podcast, search the Board Boys and we'll be there.
Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/boardgamegumbo, and our YouTube channel. It helps us get the word out about all of our upcoming shows, including in 2 weeks, we're bringing in board game writer and reviewer extraordinaire Keith Law, formerly from ESPN. He's going to be the guest on the show. Can't wait to chat with him. I especially love his post-Gen Con columns where he kind of talks about all the games he's, that he saw. And he's been writing this for years, Steve. I mean, it's going to be interesting to hear how that developed. Reminder, catch us on Twitch on the opposite weeks, twitch.tv/boardgamegumbo every other Tuesday night where we play your games live on Twitch. I'm BJ from Board Game Gumbo. And for Rob and Cam and TK and Verla and Steve, until next time, les allez bon temps roulé.